Hello all. Today is Wednesday, June 10th, and I want to do this video for the new Helix. It's kind of long overdue. This is it's been quite a while since I've done a video at all. This is basically Helix on steroids 2.0 kind of thing. So I want to just give you a rundown on the settings and then show you what there is and start with the settings. Start with the chart. I'm using a Ninja Renko 5-1 chart. Now in the strategy there's 5 data series, but I need price movement. So by using the 5-1 chart I get price movement. There's absolutely really nothing inside of Helix that uses the 5-1 chart other than price movement itself. But in order to have bar close and to have for speed and loading and all kinds of other CPU performance issues, we needed to do it this way. And actually, after doing it a while, I kind of like it. It's you kind of get used to the way the market moves. Now, I also use a larger chart for you next gen people that, that's where I came from. I like the 34.5, so I like to show that on top here, and I'll do that later. But just for market turns, I need to have the 5-1 chart. So that's the only thing we're using here. Settings, so you go in the Tremper and you pull up Helix. Just open that up. Very limited things you have here. So the version number is what's going on there in the upper left-hand corner. If you're in an old version, it'll plot, check your version number, because when there's an update, it'll tell you there's an update there. And this is what you want to look for. You could also see in your output file if you're running that. Right now, there's 4 setups. I'm still working on a couple, but this one here I feel most comfortable with in order to relinquish it. A lot of analytics have gone into this. Manual buttons, I'll go over the buttons here in a minute, but you set your quantities, your contracts, your targets, your stops, and then on 2 if you want that. If you want 2 contracts to go on, you can do that. And there's no trade management with this. This is just solely your management, manual orders, and that's it. And the buttons, I'll show you the buttons where you have a bunch of options for that. So the daily limits, I'm using 1 micro. I just trade 1 micro and then I just multiply it, but on different accounts. But you can kind of change this if you want. But if you do change the negative, you got to make sure you have a negative in there. Oh yeah, if you hover on any one of these, you'll get what it means. But needless to say, you have to have a negative on there, as we do. So the next one will be the timers. These are set for New York time. So I'm outside Chicago in the burbs, but I have my computer is set for New York time. You don't have to have it set for New York time, but you have to adjust yours accordingly if you're not on the New York scale. Just move them out forward or backward, whatever, or turn them off altogether. I've only done all my analytics, by the way, is basically done through the regular trading hours. So anything you do overnight or outside of that is kind of on yours. Let me know how it goes. Now here's the bar I was talking about. These buttons down here, and then also your audibles. So I have right now a 26 ticks, basically a 13-2 chart. Again, from your next gen people, a 13-2 chart, 26 ticks is a reversal bar. So that's when, if you want a confirmation per se, that's what you'll get on that. You can change that, obviously. The buttons are going to show in the bottom left-hand corner. That's the way I like them. I like it up a little bit and then over. So you do your own thing. You can kind of move them around, play. Those are pixels. If you want to move it, like an inch, you'd probably be like 100 pixels or something. Go to the free stuff. There is an Audible download with a bunch of WAV files. Anyway, you can change all those, or you can turn them off if you don't want them all together. And then I like to have the auto trail. Now, unlike the Ninja traders, every tick it chings. That gets a little too crazy. I just have it at steps. So if there's a different type of, there's about, I think 6 or 7 different types of stop managements in here. And anytime one takes over the other, or if it moves a different tier, it will then give you a cha-ching on the auto trail or whatever sound you have in there. However, it's not going to do it per tick, so don't expect that. Next one here is your miscellaneous things. If you're experiencing problems with lockups, I've turned that off only because I haven't had those problems anymore. I have running 3 machines here, so that's, I think, behind us. There's a latency one in here too, so that's on by default. If you want to check your load time, if it's taking too long to load, maybe it's your computer, you can turn it on and look at the output file. If you're in playback mode, I would recommend turning that on because it'll respect your hours and times. Otherwise, it's just going to use your wall clock, and if it's midnight, you're not going to get any trades. And then there's a safety exit. If you're experiencing problems with that, I think that's behind us. We were, but I think that's behind us now. If it finds a naked order, now if you don't like naked stop orders, that you can delete your target easily, and it'll follow the management all the way, or you can move your target closer, farther, or just delete it altogether, no problem. But if you delete the stop and this is on, it's going to see that there is a no stop loss found, and therefore it will just automatically close the position. Or if you're trailing and you've got really a lot of lag, and what happens is your stop order goes off, but the new order hasn't been accepted from the broker yet, and it hasn't come back because of lag, then it's going to see this after so many seconds, milliseconds, and it's going to shut off the order. So it's just a protection. If you don't like that, you can turn it off. And then obviously, if you want to see your report card, you can turn that on. It would show up in the output file. It's based on a few things. A break even is a give or take. Anyway, here's a bunch of things that are in there. You don't have really any control. The only thing you might have control on is the EMAs. You don't have control of setting them, because if you change them, the settings, then you will change the parameters within Helix, and I can't have that. So all these things in here are there for a reason. However, so they're on in the background, but they're untransparent. So if you want to see different moving averages in here, I could tell you what they are. If you just email me, no big deal, I could tell you what they are. But moral of the story is you'd have to turn that on to a color in order to see it, but you can't change the size. I would recommend, even if you don't want to see these, this one here is the 34.5 chart. That's a 21 period. And this one, EMA 4, is a 34.5 chart, 55. So a 21 and a 55, I have those on. You can't turn them off because I need them, but you could turn them transparent if you want, and then you can put your own things on there. So these come from different charts, basically, if you will, different time frames, data series. So that's why you can't mess around with them. But if you want to put your own on, you're more than welcome to add whatever indicators you want. And that's it for that. This is it. This is all there is. So let's talk a little bit about the buttons here. It's always going to default to pause. Pause is it's like a three-way switch. You got pause, then you got manual mode, so it's not going to take any auto trades, and then you have pause again before you go into the auto mode, and then you got the auto mode, and then you got pause, and you're basically back to the circle again. Cancel, if you want to cancel all just to get out, you can cancel that. Or if you want to close something that hasn't been triggered yet, you can do it that way too. Long only, short only, I mean, that's kind of self-evident. So let's just go into the manual mode, and let's just show you some of these. Are kind of simple. Now again, these are based on the settings that I have under manual orders. So 80 tick target, 60 ticks. And I only have one contract, 1 micro is what I do. So you can move these anywhere you want, no big deal. You could actually kill them if you want. You can close it, so I'll just close it. So same thing with sell. I mean, again, quite simple. Now here's the buy order. So there's some things with this one. If you're wanting to go, in this case, long, let's say you want to go long here, you would say buy order, and the question is, where do you want to get long? If you want to get a buy order and you want to get it when it breaks out this area, just click it there, and it changed from set to now it's on place. And you could rather do one of a couple things. You could just close it. If you want to cancel that, you can kill it with the X here, or you can come down here and hit close cancel, and it'll take it away. But let's say it's gone away from you. You still want to go long, and so you want to go buy. But in this case, I want it to come down to here. So you would just click it here. Now it places a limit order. And now it's just waiting. And again, you can move it around. You can kill it here, or you can hit close. If you want to do a sell order, and that's why they're not called buy or sell. They're wherever you place your mark. So right now we're set, and I want to put it down here. So now it turns it into a sell stop. And if you did it up here, then obviously it would turn it into a sell limit order. All right, now the next one is my favorite, and that's the up-down bar. So there's a little tweak to that. Before, for those of you who had the version 1, you just click it. Wherever you clicked it, it was waiting for an up bar, and it had to have a down bar. So now it's a click and point kind of thing. So I'm going to say up again, and now it says set. If I go here, up anywhere above, like put it right there, and set it, now it's active. And you see this little line going, and it's going to follow. And remember, we had 26 ticks in our settings, so it's just going to keep going and going and going until one of things happen. One, it gets here and triggers the order, or you cancel it. You could turn off the button here, or you can cancel it here. You could turn off the actual button there that's active, or you wait until it gets in, and then you gotta hit cancel. All kinds of things you could do. Okay, so now we still want to go long, but in this case we want to trail it. So I'm going to go set, and instead of putting it above here anywhere, I'm going to have it go down here. So I want it to come here. So when it goes there, it's not going to give me in. That's the trigger. So once it touches this area, it will start chasing your up bar. There you go. There's your up bar. It just touched it, your up bar. Now again, you can cancel it if you don't like it anymore. It's just going to go deeper, deeper, deeper until you get your confirmation. Of course, confirmation costs money, so you got to give up 26 ticks to get in. But needless to say, there's where it is. Let me cancel that. Same thing with the down bar. If you go down bar and do it right here underneath the level, it's already active. It's just waiting for a trigger. It's got to come up. There it is. And let's do the other way. Let's say the down bar, and I want it to come here. So I will have to wait until it goes there to trigger it. Then when it does, you will see the little marker there that shows it needs to come back down. And there we go. So now it's there. It is. So it's pause this too fast. So it went up, it chased, and then all of a sudden you got your 26 ticks that I have it set for. Again, that's a 13.2 Ninja ankle bar, but you could change that, to whatever tick size you want. And so there it is. It got me short at that point. So that confirmation right there. So cancel that. That's it for the buttons. So you can play. I would recommend doing exactly what I've done. Put it in playback, let it go, and play with buttons until you get comfortable with it. So for instance, if you are in a long, let's say, and you want to get into another long, then you would just hit buy, and you would get into your second long with your same settings. And if you want to do another one, you would just do buy again. And if you wanted to scale out, you could just say sell one. It'll sell one, and you could sell another one, and then you could sell it again, and you just basically go back down to break even, or you could just say close all. So there's all kinds of things you could do that way. And the same holds true with the auto mode. Now in the auto mode, if you're in the manual mode, it doesn't really matter. You're just manual. Okay. If you're in the auto mode, let me do that real quick. So let's go. Now we go to pause, and now I'm going to go to auto mode. So it's auto/manual. So right now it's going to take a trade. If I were to take a manual trade right now and say buy long, I'm in. The auto mode will not put in an order because it's only going to do it if flat. It's not going to add on. You have to do that manually. So, however, if the auto mode, if it is flat and the auto mode takes one and you want to add to it because whatever reason, you could do that manually by adding it on and then managing it yourself. You manage, the trades yourself. It'll put it on and it'll do its thing, and that'll be it. So just to recap, a manual mode, you could add manual modes to auto modes, but auto will not add on to yours. So, all right, so that's really about it. Oh, trade management. So let me go here. So yes, trade management is designed, slow down. Trade management is designed for it. There's about 6 or 7 different things in here on trade management. You'll see different things on the stop. It'll say a regular stop. It'll say target or bingo. It'll over here is a manual stop. You see, so they're all going to be a little different. But the management, you can override it a little. You can move it forward, not a problem at all. But moving it backwards, it's just going to snap back to its spot in the auto one. Now the manual one is, that's yours. And the reason why these are all designed like that is because analytics say if it's not going to go, get out quicker. So keep the winners, keep the losers. How's it say? Get the losers out and keep the winners to run, kind of thing. So, okay, so now I hit my limit there. All right, so let's go back to strategies. So you need to turn on playback. I just did it, but you got to turn on playback mode there so it respects your time. And then you can turn it on. And now when it comes back on, it's 9:34. You'll see it say timed off. And we're waiting for it to get to the 9:35 time. Basically, it just got to flush the toilet, as I call it. Okay. So then also, well, let me get a tick. Let me slow it down a little bit. Got to get at least a tick in there. There we go, timed off. In playback mode. And of course, you still got to do your things here. And so now at 9:35 right now, this should come off. It did. And now we're just waiting for the market to do its thing. Now, this is the 5-1 chart. So you see it being a little squirrely here. So what I like to do is I like to put my 34-5 chart on top of that. I always have it on always on top. So that way if I click over here on the smaller chart, it's just always going to be there. So now you can kind of see it and manage it a little better. Actually, if you wanted to, you could just blow this one up and do it that way. This is the chart that I like. I mean, you could do any chart you want on here, but it's behind the scenes and it will trigger when it triggers. And right there is a trigger. And so you could do this yourself. You can move it. I'll just let it go. But you can move your target or you can kill your target. If you want to just let it chase, it'll chase. But this target this chart that we're looking at right now is a 34-5 chart, and it has absolutely nothing to do with what's behind the scenes in Helix running on a 5-1 chart. So if you want to follow, like, Next Gen teaches us, if you want to follow that, you can, or maybe this one up, these two up here, whatever, you can move them. Or now if you want to get out, you could just, I guess I'm a little fat, you could just move it down here. I guess you can't. Okay, there. Now here you could have just hit the close button and done it that way. Let me slow this down a little bit. It's getting a little squirrely. So again, I'll just kind of go back to mine, and it's kind of the way I like it. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the target zone in here. I have the target zone as an independent indicator, and I'm going to add it in here. My daughter's been using that, and she likes that, so I'm going to do that for her. Just put it in here. That way it's just automatic. Okay, so that's that. All right, I think that's really about it for a little tutorial. If you want to go to, let me drag this over. Okay, so if you come here and you go to, here's a new thing that I did. I'm going to check that out. I'll let you do that on your own, the blueprint. Anyway, the indicators, will come here, and then you can go to Helix, and you can download it right there. That's how you download it, and it's for NinjaTrader 8, the newest versions kind of thing. And that's really about it. There's no cost at this point, but I do need your third-party ID. If you've never had it before, it'll just go right away without a problem. If you've had it in the past and you've already had it in there, then it might say that you need to notify me, or you have to look at it. The messages look really close to each other. One says has expired, and the other one says is about to expire. So I'll just send me if you go to the contact form here and you fill that out and put in your name, rank, serial number, or as much as you want in there. But more importantly, I need this right here. I just need what your third-party license number is, and then I can go turn you on. And that's it. So other than that, I'll leave it short and sweet there. All right, thanks.